Welcome back to the canon as we today dive in to the periodic piece known as a classic 80s film, X-Men Apocalypse. Alright, so let's review this thing. Sal, we had our expectations. We had, I would say, medium level excitement going into the movie, and I believe that it might have exceeded expectations.
It definitely did.
All right, so let's start with your theater experience. How was your crowd?
It was weird because I went to Naperville Theater, and those aren't assigned seats, and that's the first time I haven't been to one of them this year. But anyways, there was a line to get into the theater, and I got worried, but it wasn't a. It was a pretty big line, but you know a theater holds however many, so I wasn't that worried. But it was just weird because that's the first line I've been in for a movie for years, like since like early, well, maybe like Dark Knight stuff. But
Wait. So was it a line to get into the actual like
my theater?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And was it closed? Like, what? Well, how early were you there?
I was there a half hour. We got there the movie was at 8:30. We got there at 8 o'clock. And I guess they were still cleaning up.
Oh, okay.
So we were waiting for about 10 minutes in line. But we got fine seats. And the cool thing that I liked is the ushers from the movie theater told everyone to move into the middle so everyone else can get a seat when they get there a little bit later. So I appreciate that, AMC. But the theater kind of sucked. They had,
Stop bashing the theater. I'll cut you off. I went early in the morning for reasons I won't disclose, and it ended up being I was probably the second person in the theater, and I was like, yes, I'm finally gonna watch a movie. The opening weekend with like barely anybody in the theater because it was like the first show of the day. Didn't happen that way. I was the second person in, didn't stay that way. Ended up getting about 90% packed, I would say. Almost everything but the very front row. So people came. They came eventually, and it was all tight. So this is the thing I've seen with all these movies is that it's just all types of families and little kids, teenagers, mom, dad, older couple. It's a nice blend, and I'm just like, these movies aren't for kids. Stop bringing your kids, like especially with Deadpool. I'm like, don't bring your kid.
Yeah.
It's rated R. And then these other movies, I'm like, I know it's superheroes and stuff, but you guys gotta realize this content is getting a little more adult, even in Civil War. So like, it's X-Men Apocalypse, and I'm just like, I don't know if your kids should be in here, but they were. So I had a nice diverse crowd.
Yeah. Mine was mostly teenagers, a couple families, and a couple older people, but mainly teenagers, I would say.
And also, I'm starting to realize, at least in the area where I go watch the movies, like all these superhero movies has a very strong demographic of middle-aged black males that love to come to these movies. I swear, it's so funny, and I can say that because they just come in, and I guess that's what they grew up on, back when it wasn't cool, because this is a lot of old black dudes coming in to see these movies. Superman,
they're like,
let's go. X-Men, let's go. I'm like, okay, so that's funny. But anyway, all right, so I want to start with the negatives. Everyone starts with the positives. Let's start with the negatives.
Okay.
What issues did you have with this movie?
I had the issues with the Four Horsemen. I guess you can argue that they weren't primary to the story moving forward, but I would have loved to see their motivations for the most part. We got some surface motivations. Magneto because his family. We had Angel because he couldn't fight anymore. I think his wing was broken, and then Storm because she had no one else really, and then Psylocke because she was tired of being a henchman, but then she was back to being another henchman for a stronger guy, I guess. But anyways, besides that, you didn't really get any insight to what they were doing, why they were doing it. So I think that kind of hindered the villain side of the story, and I would have liked to see more of that. The end also got a little bit muddled with that fight. And without being too specific, I mean, it got muddled, but it was still good. So those were the negatives for me. I don't know about you.
Wow, small list.
Yeah.
I got 50. I'm just joking. No, I don't have too many, but I will agree with you with the only one I'll disagree is Magneto. I think Magneto was very full, well done, cooked out plot. The rest, yes. Psylocke had like almost no background.
Yeah.
Like none. It didn't even make sense when she joined. I was just like the other ones, I'm like, okay, he's kind of, finessing, but then when he talked to Psylocke, she just left. I was like, okay, whatever. The ending fight was probably my biggest problem that sticks out. And it wasn't, I don't know if it was muddled, it wasn't good action. It just was not good action. Like, I think the fights they set up were fine. With Cyclops and Storm, Psylocke and Beast was the best one. But the choreography and the execution was crappy. It was like I was watching a TV show. And then the final sequence with how they fought Apocalypse was just dumb. It was just like, you had all this good stuff building up, and you had all this intimidation of Apocalypse. Why spend it with him in a bubble for like ever, just holding the bubble while they're throwing stuff at him?
It's like being defensive.
I was just like, but even still, it's just like, I don't know. I guess it was some hand-to-hand combat would have made more sense than him just sitting in the bubble and everyone throwing stuff at him. And then also within that last scene, after a while, we kind of, I don't know if you did, but I kind of figured the whole Charles fighting Apocalypse was going to be a mind battle type thing.
Well, yeah, before that happened, I was like, wait a minute, he was never in the house yet. Well, he was in the house.
And the house was blown up, right?
Yeah.
So
like, I was thinking, was that just like an extra thing they added in the trailers to get us excited? But it wasn't. I liked how they did it. I guess he couldn't really grow like that in real life. Mm-hmm. So that's how they kind of added it in, which was a nice touch. I like the whole mind battle.
I like the concept. My issue is there's Charles like laying there, and he's just like, in this mind, this whatever realm. Mm-hmm. But then Apocalypse is walking around fighting while also fighting Charles in his mind. I was like, it's so confusing. It kept switching, and I'm like, how is he? And then he's talking. I'm like, is he talking to Charles or is he talking to Magneto? Like, I'm like, it should have. I thought it was gonna take place when he tried to put him in that process to turn Charles into Apocalypse. I was like, okay, he's going to enter Charles' mind, and that's where they're going to fight. That would have made sense. But then they did it that way, and I'm like, why is Charles like incapacitated and Apocalypse is still just walking around fighting while also doing the mind battle? Didn't like that. And then I don't like the fact that Jean Grey is more powerful than Professor X right now. Like, it's way too early for that. Like, I understand the Dark Phoenix thing and all that. And even with the originals, it was like, okay, we knew some was inside of her. Mm-hmm. But the whole time with Patrick Stewart, you never felt anybody was more powerful than him. Like, he had his stuff together. And I know it's a younger Charles, but Charles has to be the strongest mind around. And with that one thing, it's just like, oh, Charles is second. Help me, Jean. Help me. I'm a sissy. I mean, help. It's just like, come on, man. Now I can't even respect Charles no more. So, those are most of my complaints.
Okay.
Any other?
I guess now that we're talking about it.
Yeah, I'm about to pull my notes out. Go ahead.
No, just that I liked Apocalypse a lot. I thought Oscar Isaac did a great job. I liked that they kind of explained how he came to, not how he came to be, but the continuity with that teaser trailer. He was a kid and he was already like his alien self. I liked how they kind of explained it where he takes over people's bodies. So that was something I liked that they explained. But I guess now that I think about it, he wasn't as menacing and as strong as I thought he should have been. He did a lot of talking. He did a lot of planning out things. And then we didn't really see him in action until the end. So that was kind of one thing that I would have liked to see more of.
See, I'm opposite on you on that.
Did you like that they kind of saved him up for the end and he like made the
No,
henchman-
I think he was pretty intimidating. But
Yeah.
I'll say that. From
Well, he was, but I still maybe one more scene if he did something earlier in the movie when it might have put me over that hump. But yeah, I thought he still did great. So yeah, what do we want to move on to now?
I'm not done.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
No, so this is a complaint going into the movie. Complaint from the last two movies. What they've done with Mystique is so unbelievably annoying. Now she's Harriet Tubman freeing mutants through the Underground Railroad. Like what? Like she's a bad guy. Like she is a bad guy now since it's Jennifer Lawrence. She has to be free and slave. Everybody I look up to you. You changed my life. Mystique changed your life. What? Like that's the one part that just sticks out. I'm like, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the fact that she's training X-Man. I hate the fact that she just even is remotely a good person. Mm-hmm. It blows my mind. I absolutely hate that. And I'm not trying to hate on Jennifer Lawrence. I don't like what they did with the character.
Yeah.
But I also don't like Jennifer Lawrence. So, I already talked about the fighting. Oh, Quicksilver not telling Magneto. Didn't like that. That was his son. I thought it was the perfect opportunity to switch Magneto and play to his human side because it built up as I have none left. I lost everything. And then to realize, like, you actually still have a son and, of course, his sister is, I don't want to get into that, but, you know, so you know who his sister is. So it's like, oh, wait, I do have something. And then they just didn't do it. Now they might be saving it up for later. But
it's like, we don't know what's later. And
I just think that was the time to do it. And then my last gripe, I know I'm going on, but these are small things, honestly, to me. But I think we need a little more background on Apocalypse. The reason I say that is because while I liked when he came back and like the reason he wanted to do what he wanted to do because he saw the world was like all crazy now, but you have nothing to put it up against because the opening scene you never heard a word from him. I think some dialogue or something just about what he did to make the world the way it was before he was trapped. Yeah. Like, what is it that you changed? What is it that you built up?
I kind of got this Ra's al Ghul kind of thing from him. Like when he decides that the world isn't fit for living anymore for the people in it, he does something about it.
And yeah, that's definitely part of it. But it's just like when, like he reaches to the TV and sees like, you know, because it's easy like with the 80s and especially with America, like, you know, you could easily make him upset at, you know, how greedy people are, how commercialized stuff is, the web, like whatever. But we never got a glimpse into his old world to compare it. So it's just like it was some missing once he got so angry about what the world became. We don't know what the world was before. Yeah. All we saw was you in the pyramid, so we didn't really get that. But yeah, that was my last.
Okay. It seemed like you had a lot to not like about this.
But I loved it. I'll get to that. So anyway, positives. A lot more positives.
There were a lot more positives. I didn't think that Magneto storyline was gonna happen at all. Like I didn't see that coming at all, and I liked it a lot. I liked that they introduced Scarlet Witch just barely, and then they killed her. I didn't think that was gonna happen. That was cool.
That wasn't Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, it was. It was his daughter.
No.
Oh.
No, Quicksilver had a sister in Days of Future Past.
But that might have been his mom's another daughter that his mom had.
I think she was supposed to be. I think her name was Wanda. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. The daughter had powers though. This daughter.
Yeah, but
I think it was a Scarlet Witch. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
What else? The scenes I loved. The Auschwitz scene where he gives Magneto his real power. Thought that was a very powerful scene, especially for Magneto, and it was just well done in terms of editing. I love that when Angel got his wings, or Archangel got his wings. I thought that was awesome. I like that they kind of put it up against that like 80s rock music. I didn't think I was gonna like that when I was watching it. I was like, I don't like that they're kind of putting this with Apocalypse in the same room, but I did like it a lot. Quicksilver scene.
Oh
Amazing. Amazing. The song was insane. Like, you think that, like, something as serious as that house blowing up and then them putting that song in there, I don't think if it was any other movie or any other character, I would have liked it.
Right.
Because it kind of, like, takes away from the seriousness of that moment. But just having Days of Future Past and then having this, I liked it a lot. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I love that it was like twice as long as the first scene in Days of Future Past. That was cool. I like Dark Phoenix coming out. I like that a lot, even though it was spoiled for me the morning of the damn movie on Facebook.
You tried to spoil it for me.
Well, yeah, I sent it to you not realizing you were just about to see it, and so that was dumb. But, yeah. There was a lot of that stuff I liked without going too much into it because we'd be here for an hour. But I think that was it. And this classic suits at the end.
Way to steal mine.
Yeah, that was insane. I love that.
Yeah, Quicksilver scene, amazing. Especially because I didn't see it coming at all. I wasn't even thinking about Quicksilver, like, at all.
I thought we knew that. I thought you knew that his scene was coming.
No. I mean, I knew it was in the movie, but, I mean, at that point in the movie, didn't even think.
Yeah.
Because I was so wrapped up, like, that was right after Apocalypse's little monologue as he's shooting off all the nukes, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was a good scene, too.
Like, this is going crazy. And then to follow it up, they pop up at the X. I was like, oh my God. And then they took Charles. I was like, no. And then, so I'm all wrapped up in the seriousness.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You insert something kind of comical.
Yeah, well, and the good thing about it is that I didn't see it coming. Because, like, they show Jean Grey now pulling up in the car, and I'm also pissed they cut the mall scene out.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Just to put it in the special features, so you gotta buy it. But anyway, so they show them pulling up, and then, like, everything slows down. The bee is, like, flying on a flower, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? And then the music comes on, the shoe just starts, like, who? And I still did not know who it was. I was like, wait, who is this? And it's Quicksilver, and I was like, oh, I was like, the crowd, like, erupted, not like crazy, but I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then the scene, I was like, so.
That was awesome.
So,
like, I want to watch that scene right now.
Yeah, I know, man. And the opening scene to me was amazing. I loved the opening scene. It felt authentic to Egyptian culture, you know, where they had them covered. They wouldn't show them to the people.
Regular people.
I like the whole process, like you said, the fact that they talked about how he is able to live all this time. I like the old looking Apocalypse. That was kind of cool. I like that Oscar Isaac was like some mutant that they just used his body. I loved his 4 horsemen. And I don't know if this is negative or positive. I thought they were better than the 4 horsemen in the movie.
I don't really remember them too much to compare them.
Yeah, you saw a little bit with one guy, like, had some sonic clap, and then, like, it just evaporated the dudes into skeletons.
I remember
and
that.
dust.
They got pushed back to the wall.
Some girl had, like, fire, or the one girl was like a psych. I don't know. I was like, they're better at their job than the other 4 horsemen.
Well, I guess another thing coming up too is they weren't hypnotized into following him, which I don't know. I don't know in the original storyline if that's how it works, if they're hypnotized into working for him or if they just kind of choose to. I don't know. See, I just had a problem with it, and I don't know. That's why I wanted their motivations.
Yeah.
To why they're staying with him. Like, again, with Storm, she had nothing, and he gave her kind of more. With Psylocke, kind of the same thing. With Angel, he gave him his wings back. But at the same token, you're like, are these people, are they bad? Are they bad people? You don't know. And obviously with Storm, it's not.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So that's
I agree. I just felt like Apocalypse could have been. I mean, he was good, but I feel like they could have showed a little bit more of his persuasion. And I thought you had actor in Oscar Isaac that could have had some really good scenes, you know, delivering that. And I mean, I feel like some of the stuff was good, but yeah, I agree with you. They didn't take time to build any of them up besides Magneto, like Storm didn't make much sense. Psylocke made no sense, and Archangel, I don't know where they were going with that one, cause him just he basically was bad. Like
Yeah, I guess.
he just
But then he helped out Nightcrawler in the fight. He's like, they're gonna kill us both if we don't fight each other. So like,
well,
he was
yeah,
kinda
but
good.
he wasn't gonna stop fighting them though.
I know, but like,
I mean, I get what
like
you're saying.
that, like, if he was really, really bad, he would have just been like, okay, don't fight, they're gonna shoot you. You know, kind of. I don't know. That's kind of small detail.
Yeah, well, he's dead now anyway. So that wasn't cool. They killed Archangel, so he has no redemption.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
I know, right? It's messed up, but yeah, I agree with you. But also on the same token, I really like Apocalypse. I like Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
I love the scene like when he came back. I like that he didn't just come back. Oh, I'm back. Let's do it. Like let's get things rolling.
Like,
he's like walking around.
Yeah.
In the hood,
well, when he killed those guys with the sand,
yeah,
that was pretty insane.
And so he's just like, I mean, what he didn't learn for that long because they kind of sped it up by having him touch the TV and stuff. But it was still nice to see him out in the real world, and I felt like we could have more of that. And like I was saying before, like really understanding what has changed around him, especially in the same city where he was buried in. But yeah, I like Oscar Isaac. I like that nuke scene. I like his whole speech, but yeah, I don't know. Crap. Overall, it felt like X-Men.
It did.
It felt
like a superhero movie.
It felt like X-Men, it hit me so hard with the last shot with them in those suits. Oh my god. Oh my god! Once I saw Mystique, because she was like on the side with her shoulder, and I'm like, wait, is that white?
Yeah,
I was like, what is that? And then she turned. I was like, oh my god, it's oh god, no. And then Cyclops turned and had the whatever that thing. I was like, I was dying in the theater. I was like, Bryan Singer did it. It felt like my X-Men that I grew up with, and so it hit me hard. Oh, we didn't talk about the Wolverine scene.
All right, we'll be right back. Hold on.
All right, we're back.
Had to change the SD card.
Too much info. Right. But so where were we? Wolverine scene. We didn't even get to that.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I liked that they I thought he was gonna have a very small cameo. I thought it was just gonna be like what we saw in the trailer.
Yeah. Was
his claws coming out, and then that was kind of it. But I like that they wrapped it up. I like that they fixed his storyline when Jean Grey gave him his name back and kind of, I think, some of his past. And that was cool because obviously they have a love triangle with him, Scott, and Jean Grey. So him kind of seeing her before, he sees her again later, that was kind of cool. And just the look of him, it's the look that it was originally in the comics too. So that was really cool, and they kind of just did it right. Bryan Singer fixed it, like he fixed everything else. So I liked it. I liked it a lot, and yeah.
I agree. I have a clue why, but still, why did they make that part of the teaser, like, or the spot or whatever?
Yeah, I would have loved it if they didn't.
It would have been so much better if we didn't know it was coming. Because, like, at the point, once you see Alkali Lake, you already know what's coming. And you're just like, okay. But it was cool that we didn't know it would be so full on Wolverine as we all thought it might be. I'm with you. I thought it was going to be like, something's in there, let it out, and then they show the claws, and that's it. And then he walks out, and at first I was like, oh, is he gonna be naked, man? I want to see this.
Yeah, showtime.
And then, but he has the classic costume. I was like, oh my god. And then I'm like, okay, well, he's gonna like go away. But then they show him fighting, and I was like, man, Hugh Jackman got paid to come out here and do some work, and it was very graphic.
It was.
This movie was a lot more graphic than I expected. That scene played out a little bit like a horror movie.
A little bit.
I was watching Freddy Krueger, but yeah, that scene was so good. And then the part with Jean kind of starting a relationship between those two, it's just weird because Hugh Jackman looks so much older than them.
Yeah.
They look like little kids, creepy to think they would be interested in each other. But I like the little line by Cyclops, like, well, hopefully never see that guy.
Yeah.
So that was a great scene. Yeah, man. Anything else?
Cutscene? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can. I mean,
Not much to it.
I get kind of where they're going, but at the same time, it's obviously different than the comics. So
the cutscene was Essex Inc. or Essex Corp. Okay, yeah. Some lady in there said, "Were they going to Oscorp now?" After we started walking out, I was like, "All right." But yeah, Essex Corp is the real name of Mr. Sinister. I think he's one of the most visually pleasing characters out there. He looks, I don't know, his costume is awesome. I love it. He kind of looks like a vampire. So he is obsessed with gene manipulation, and I think the story goes where he is with Apocalypse, but then he sees how evil he could be. So I think what he does is he mutates the genes of Jean Grey's family back way when, and Scott Summers' family back way when, and eventually those families meet, and then Cable's born, and then Cable comes back to defeat Apocalypse. So I think that's the story. I don't know exactly where they're going with it.
It's pretty confusing.
Yeah. So, but in Wolverine 3, they cast, I forgot who they cast, but they cast a mad scientist. So people are saying that might be Essex.
I have no clue. But actually, now thinking about it, I don't know why this didn't pop in my head at all, but Deadpool is going into Cable. So now we got Mr. Sinister. And I think this end credit was a tease for the Wolverine movie. I don't think it was for the next X-Men movie.
No.
But it never crossed my mind, but I think they're about to make a connection somewhere. I think Deadpool's going to be in the next Wolverine movie. I mean, he could live that long, so I think that might be happening. I didn't even think about it when I was watching it. I was too busy wondering what Mr. Sinister is going to look like. I was like, you can't come out here with that shredded up cape or whatever he
could.
That's ridiculous. I was like, because even though they went old school 90s costumes were so good, Storm wasn't like full out white, even though I wish he was. Yeah. But, there's some things that are a little more practical. So you can't come out with that Mr. Sinister looking costume. I think it'd be just cool if he was like a regular business dude whose eyes glow red.
Maybe.
Like, that'd be sick. But, so I was underwhelmed. I was pissed. I was like, I thought we were going to get something more because now Bryan Singer's going to make 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I believe. And so it's going to be a little gap in the project. We know they're talking about New Mutants, and we know there's the X-Force, maybe, the Deadpool stuff, the Wolverine stuff. So I'm like, where is this story going? Mm-hmm. We know it's going to be in the 90s, but where is it going? Well, I thought we would get more of that.
Well, I texted you right after because I saw an article saying that Singer wants to do another a closure movie with the original cast.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I have no idea. It might, because this how
super confusing.
Well, how successful these last 3 movies have been, I can see the studio giving the green light for that, and I think it would be good.
It's not that. I don't think they'll get the cast to do it.
You don't think so? I think they will.
Especially Hugh Jackman. I think it'd be really hard. But yeah, I read that article. Singer was saying he would like to do it. He was saying it'd be hard. He don't know when they would do it. Yeah, I think that's like a pet project way down the line. It's not going to be the next movie because that would make no sense, even though Fox does.
Or unless they don't know what they're doing with this cast.
I think they do. I think after seeing the end, like it really is set up for like I don't know how you would do it, but I imagine it's set up for a nice little tie-in to the TV show. So like the TV show starts out with Jubilee at the mall. And I'm like, man, at this point, because I'm thinking like by the time Singer does his next movie, then they shoot the next movie, this cast will be maybe 5 years older, so a little bit more believable. And you just have that scene where Jubilee's in the mall and it's Storm and Jean Grey and all them.
Can I mention that those characters, those actors were awesome? I thought they were great.
Storm sucked.
Nah, I think they were all good.
Storm sucked. She sucked. I didn't want to bring this up in our expectations, But I watched. She was in Drumline 2, and that is the worst movie I've ever saw in my life.
Why would you watch that?
My brother, I don't even want. But I watched it, and then the name Alexander Shipp popped up, and I was like, "Who?" I was like, "That name sounds familiar." And I saw, I was like, "No, no!" And I was like, "No!" And I was like, "Okay, maybe she just, she was young. She did a good job in a bad movie." No, she's the worst part of that movie. And so I went into Apocalypse like, she sucks, and she did suck. I don't know what she's talking about. Everybody else, especially Nightcrawler, who I didn't think would be even close to Ellen Cumming. I really liked him. Cody McPhee did a great job. But no, Storm, she was trash. Her accent sounded horrible. And it doesn't help. We just saw Black Panther. That's how you make a real African accent. Her stuff sounded horrible. And no, I'm sorry, I disagree. But everybody else, I agree. I love Scott Summers. He's a good one. Like Jean Grey. Don't like Storm.
All right. Well, I think we should get to our ratings.
All right, Sal. What's your rating?
I got to give this. I think I gave it a 9.5 expectation.
No, you didn't.
Did I give it a 9?
You get a 7.5.
No, I didn't.
I swear, you gave it a 7.5.
Did I?
You said you think you're going to give it a 7.5. You said it's your low estimate.
Oh, man, I totally forgot that. I got to give this a 9.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. I'm going to give it a 9.5. I liked it a lot. I thought it was the perfect balance between dark and fun. It was an entertaining movie. The ending again was muddled, but I can forgive it just because the whole movie as a whole, I loved it. I love the Easter eggs that are in X-Men movies. I think you can have so many of them, and they have great ones that everyone can kind of appreciate. So, 9.5.
And as a regular movie, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9. I think, the action was bad. For the most part, all of it was pretty bad. But everything else was great. As a comic book movie, I'm gonna give it a 10. 10 out of 10. And I'm here to say it is my favorite comic book movie ever.
It's mine this year. I think it's... Okay.
I think it delivered on everything. Like, it just was so good. Like, it gave you so much X-Men. And like you said, movie, I thought the editing was great. Similar to BVS, but we're not going to get into that. But I think moving it around made the movie flow quick. It didn't seem long at all. It seemed pretty short, even though it was 2.5 hours. I thought the story was good. I think all of it just flowed so well. And so, without thinking about the action, I gotta give it a 10 as a comic book movie. That was X-Men. That made me just hit right back home to as a kid watching the cartoon.
And I like the joke when they came out of Empire or Return of the Jedi. Like, the third is always suckiest or whatever. Always the worst.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little jab at themselves. I think they have a session.
You get Last Stand. That's what you get. All right, so that is our review. If you want more of the canon, please hit the subscribe button below.
Scott Summers.
Where can people find us?
At Twitter, at The Canon Vlog, or on Facebook, facebook.com/The Canon.
Remember, if you heard it here, it's canon. Welcome back to another episode of The Canon. Today is a movie review of Captain America: Civil War.